Hi, I'm Gordon Strachan, and I'm going to give you my dream team that I played with in my club sides. Not international sides, that's too complicated. I might leave one or two of my mates out, so I'm going to go for the club sides, okay? First one we've got to go for is I played with him in my latter years. I didn't want to play, but I had to play because I was desperate at Coventry. And the man I'm picking, can't spell his name, so we'll put it on the team sheet as Augie. Steve OGRIZOVIC. Wonderful character, played till a ripe old age, but Mr. Coventry. I think he's probably the most famous player at Coventry, and deservedly so. Brave, could make great saves. Just unfortunate he played in England at the time of Shilton and Clements and the great keepers like that. Apart from that, if it'd been any other nationality, he won hundreds of caps. So I'm picking Steve OGRIZOVIC. At right back, it can only be one man. If I want to live my life stress-free and without being stalked, without getting all sorts of things thrown through my letter box, it'd have to be Stuart Kennedy. And in his own words, best right back Scotland's ever seen, or probably the world. And he'd probably include the universe in this, but he was the best right back I've ever played with. He was the one that helped me to get where I am today, sitting in a museum somewhere in Glasgow. So well done, Stuart. So he was terrific going forward, and nobody beat him, apart from the left winger at Queen of the South one night, who gave him an absolute roasting, who Stuart has a complete blank about that every time I speak to him. But apart from that night, he was a terrific, terrific player. Right centre back, because the other centre back wouldn't have moved to right, he'd want to be on the left, as the one and only Paul McGrath. An incredible man, incredibly light person in the Man United dressing room, and has an incredible life story, and how he managed to play for so long and so brilliantly. As a man who got picked in the World Select at one time, and a good friend of mine when I was at Manchester United is Paul McGrath. I thought he had everything. He could play centre half, midfield. If you asked him to play strike, he could do that as well. And as I say, he was a complete player as far as I'm concerned, and a terrific fella. On the other one, left centre back would be in my team I'm picking. There was two outstanding captains that I would have no problems with falling anywhere. I like to think myself as I could be a captain, but I would bow to this man. It's Willie Miller, and I think Alec Ferguson, he was the best penalty box defender in the world at one point. But he had everything, and he was a man who stood up for the players, his teammates. He was born right enough, so I didn't spend many social nights with him, but on the football field, I wouldn't feel right if he wasn't beside me at Aberdeen. So Willie was a terrific centre half, and never injured. I think he just scared injuries away, and so I would pick him. I don't know if I'd pick my captain because there's somebody else later on who's got to be a terrific captain as well, but we'll leave that until we get to midfield. At left back, I'm picking Tony DORIGO. I've looked about, and he was probably one of the first kind of raiding fullbacks, modern fullbacks at Leeds, and played with Chelsea, played with England, and a great guy. Get up the wing, make goals, good in the air for his size, quite lightweight but always tidy, so he'd be there. In midfield, I don't know what shape it's going to be, but the personalities in there that I wouldn't want to tell them what shape it's got to be. I'd just let them go and play. And saying that, I would pick one as a kind of a wider player who could play on either side, but we'll leave him to later on, and narrow my three in midfield. And the three in midfield are as good as you'll ever get as a three in midfield. I'll start with the captain at Manchester United, BRYAN, who was easily the best all-round player I've ever seen. Score goals, defend. If you put him in any position in the pitch, he'd be great at. Also, a terrific character off the pitch, which we can't go into just now. But I've got the memories, they're good fun. But a terrific captain, played so many times for England and be a star man, was Bryan Robson. In there with him, beside close to him, would be Gary McAllister, who I played with at the Scotland team, Leeds United team, and at Coventry. I think you all know what Gary can do. He's played to an incredible level too. He was late on his career. He was fantastic playing for Liverpool. He worked hard at his game, and because of that, it allowed him to move to Liverpool when he was 34, I think. I remember as a manager at Liverpool, I was talking about a new contract to him, and he says, "Listen, I need to think about it because Liverpool have come in for me," and I kind of sniggered. I thought he was taking the mic and trying to get some extra cash. Unfortunately for me, he left about 4 weeks later. The smile was wiped out of my face. But he did great there. And so that'd be Gary. And he'll be pleased as well that he's in there. And the other one would be, again, an incredible character. Matter of fact, the more I think about this team, the worse it's getting, because I now put McGrath, Whiteside and Robson on the same team again, and that was a horrendous combination on the social front. Regularly turn up at my house at 3 o'clock on Sunday morning demanding bacon rolls, they three. But on the football field, they're as good as you'll get. I remember Ivor Ferguson being a couple of months at Man United and saying to me, I didn't realise how good this kid was. And he had everything bar speed, Norman. But he had everything else. So you've got your midfield there of Whiteside, McAllister, Robson, and then a guy who could switch from wing to wing, which would be Peter Weir. And he's that good a player that nobody knew what was his best side, right or left. And I remember against Ipswich one night, and he played left side against Mick Mills in the UEFA Cup, and Peter scored 2 goals, one with his left, one with his right. I can always remember the bench saying to him, the first goal, push him to his left, push him wide, and he went left wide and smashed it in with his left foot. Again, the Ipswich bench, and push him inside now, push him inside, which Mick did again, and he smashed it in the top corner with his right foot. So well done, Bobby Robson and the coaching staff at Ipswich. But you could also play either side. Now, again, a story that Pittodrie won, I think just before Christmas one year, and because of the ice, one side was brick hard and the other side was soft. And because Peter was so valuable, Sir Lex gave him both sides that was soft because he swapped us at half time. I had to play on the icy pitch all the time, and Peter got, because he was such a good player, he got the good cross, he got the good side. I should have expected that really, shouldn't I? But anyway, Peter was brilliant. All right, up front now. I've picked 2 up front, and I remember one of them, so I'll start with him. I've got the 2 now. Yeah, it's Mark Hughes, and when I joined Manchester United, Alan Brazil joined as well for about £1 million, and he was going to be the new striker. And you can be unfortunate sometimes as a player. You can go to a club and think, I'm going to get a game, and the manager really thinks you're going to play, but suddenly a kid comes through and is terrific. And that kid was Mark Hughes, who was an ordinary midfield player in the youth team at Manchester United. And I think Eric Harrison gave him a shot up front with a couple of months to go of the season. He was terrific, and he got in the first team squad at Manchester United. And he took over to become one of the most decorated players in English football, and one of the best Welsh players ever. And that's Mark Hughes. And the final one is somebody that I've never worked out yet, and I don't think many people have worked him out yet. But he can definitely, he's definitely held a headline over the years, and a lot of people talking about him. With incredible skill. And he was described to us one night, I was playing for Scotland against France, by Andy Roxburgh, who I think is a terrific coach and a great friend of mine, who described this guy, who we weren't sure who he was, and he described him as a poor man's Joe Jordan. Well, the game finished 3-0. The poor man's Joe Jordan was Eric Cantona. And I bet Joe should be quite happy to be described as superior in every way to Eric Cantona. No, you've not been drinking, Joe. The fact that Andy did say that. So that's my dream team. As I said, it would take a strong manager to look after that group. But you're knowing fine well that you put that team out, you've got every chance of being any team you've got to play against. And knowing fine well at the end of the night you're on for an absolutely fantastic night. Thank you.